Oh gosh. That was flying so good. I have no idea how far we just skipped off to the left. All right, let's go on a scavenger hunt. Now let's go toss some plastic. And we've made it to hole 1 of Richmond Hill Park in Asheville, North Carolina. And we're starting off with a nice and simple 248 foot. You want to go dead straight with a sharp right finish. Definitely suits a sidearm, but of course we are going to go backhand with the Jaguar. All right, as expected, not a good first toss, but I tell you what, I'm excited to get this round started. We have left ourselves this very tricky little putt here. A little flick is not a bad idea. I'm actually gonna try to putt it with the Waka Waka, probably about 55 feet, really sharp ante to get around these trees. Oh, a little too high, good run though. For the 3. Listen guys, if you're not going Jaguar, Waka Waka, Jaguar, you're just not playing the hole right. Hole 2, 219 feet. You can go with a pretty standard hyzer toss, being that it is the first playthrough, that kind of feels like a throw and hope. Or you can go with this cheeky, dead straight laser backdoor tunnel shot, which we are gonna try with our DX Stingray. Get through. Wow, that is such a tight lane. I really hope the camera picked that up. We did drift to the right a little bit, and it looks like we got a good tree kick. After hitting a gap like that, I think we deserve all of the tree love. Hole 3, 193 feet, dead straight or a slight ante depending how you position yourself on the tee pad. We do have to throw over this little hump. It's a hard pin to get to. We are gonna full send it with our NV. Hook up. All right, I think that should be perfect. No ace run, but hopefully a tap in. For the 2, and guys, I have a feeling this course is about to heat up quite a bit, so hopefully we can stay on our A game. A lot of you may be saying, Hunter, why do you look so lame today? And you might also be able to tell the blue glasses are gone. I am devastated. I bought 2 pair from a fellow disc golfer, these black ones and the blue ones. They literally got rained on. I'm not kidding, they got rained on and the blue film just peeled off. I don't understand it. I did bring them to a sunglasses hut and they basically said, I've never seen anything like it. End of story. I'm out of luck because they are older. They were really starting to grow on me. Huge bummer. Hole 4, 211 feet, but it plays much longer than that. It's way uphill. You do have a little room to work a hyzer in there. We are gonna full send it with our hex. Oh, those are the kind of tree kicks I'm worried about today. Brutal. We hit about 60, 70 feet to the left. After the big tree kick, we've left ourselves probably 62 feet, quite a bit uphill for the 2. That was just not a good putt. Hole 5, 343 feet. It is dead straight. There's a few different lanes you can go, but these are the holes that terrify me because we are throwing over a pretty deep ravine, and when we full send this boss, if it catches a tree up high, who knows how far it could bounce, go, drop, and disappear off to. But again, we are gonna full send it with our champion boss. Just don't hit anything. Oh gosh. That was flying so good. I have no idea how far we just skipped off to the left. All right, let's go on a scavenger hunt. Well guys, we finally found it. It took about 35 minutes. It did land up here on a walking trail and just slid perfectly under the leaves. We have about a 90-foot uphill shot, very tricky. I'm just gonna go with a little sidearm flick, and if we walk out with a 3, I'm more than happy. All right, that'll work. For the 3, hole 6, 289 feet, dead straight. We are throwing downhill. The basket is out of sight. Hopefully that is the only issues that we're gonna have finding discs today, because man, you get cold, you're tired, mentally that's very draining, but we did find it. We are gonna go with the Envy and hopefully rebound on this hole. Oh, it's really bad, I think. Well, the Envy did land pin high, but as you guys saw, we did hyzer out, so we are over here in the thick of it. We've left ourselves probably 70 feet. We do have a little gap that we're gonna try to thread for the 2. Oh, no run. We did get out though, I'm happy with that. You ever go to do something and get a little more than what you bargained for? I just tried to sneak off over here to film my hole 9 break and almost walked right into somebody's tent house they have set up in the middle of the woods. Sheesh, close call. Make sure you watch where you're walking in the woods of Asheville. Hole 7, the rangefinder has it at 249 feet. You want to go dead straight with a right finish, a good bounce back hole. I'm not really sure what's going on with the footages on the T sign. They do not seem very accurate, but we are going to go with our Envy and hopefully get our round back on track here. All right, I heard some ground play, but I still think we're gonna be in a good spot. This hole had Envy written all over it, and man, did we need it. Hole 8, the basket's either 278 feet or it's 434 feet. I'm honestly not sure. The fairway looks like it's set up for a hyzer shot, but I think the basket's actually dead straight or off to the right a little bit. We're just gonna take our Valkyrie, send it up there, try to get as far as we can, and then evaluate from there. All right, that is exactly what we wanted. We still have 133 feet to the basket. I am more than happy with how the Valkyrie turned out. We are catching a lot of ground play on these slopes, and the discs are sliding right under the leaves. Very difficult to find them today. We are gonna go with a full-on flick shot with our Justice, hopefully give it a little run. Too high. Oh, it was a really good line though. It was just a little too high. For the 3, hole 9, 267 feet. The basket is dead straight. This is one of the more chaotic fairways I've seen in a while. And again, we are throwing over a ravine, so a tree kick could be absolutely disastrous. We are gonna full send our hex and try to take this little Annie lane that I can see. Get up there, go in. Oh my gosh, we just barely went over the basket. I thought for sure that was in. I thought for sure that was in. Well, one of the downsides of having a good run is you usually have a long comeback putt, and this one is way downhill behind the basket, probably about 30 feet for the 2. Oh, nice putt. I really did not want to walk away with a par after that amazing tee shot. Hole 9 break, and today I want to talk about something interesting that I have learned playing all these different disc golf courses in all these different cities and states. And that is how awesome and effective a good disc golf Facebook group is for your city. This is not something that I ever really put much thought into. Back home, we do have a few pages, almost one for each course. They're not very active, there's not a lot going on, but as I've gone to different places, I see the impacts that a good, healthy Facebook group can do. Without question, one of the strongest disc golf communities that I have visited is Fort Wayne, Indiana. You guys are absolutely on top of it. You have all these different chat groups. There's always people posting in there throughout the day, hey, I'm going here if you want to play, let's meet up here. They have like pop-up doubles events on like a random Wednesday afternoon. Everyone will go out there, meet up, have a great time. I was absolutely shocked. I got so accustomed to disc golf Facebook groups being very unactive. Occasionally someone will throw a picture up of a lost disc. Every once in a while someone will look for somebody to play with. They usually don't get a reply. Guys, I cannot put into words how awesome it was seeing the difference and being in Fort Wayne, Indiana. So to all you disc golfers out there, take this message and try to apply it to your local groups. You would be absolutely astounded on how effective they can be and how much closer your community will grow. Hole 10, 265 feet, dead straight, a mile uphill, so we are gonna disc up and full send the Champion Orc. All right, we didn't get any turn, but we should be pin high. Another weird thing is this tee pad is sloped way downhill, making that tee shot pretty difficult. Well, after that very long walk uphill, we've left ourselves probably a 60-foot straddle putt for the 2. Oh, not bad. Hole 11, it looks like the basket is in the long position, which is 420 feet down there. We do have this pretty narrow fairway. You want to go dead straight for quite a while, but you do want a strong left finish. We are going to full send it with our Champion Firestorm. Well, that was really bad. I don't know where that disc went. Oh boy, scavenger hunt number 2. Luckily, we did find this disc much faster. We still have 240 feet-ish to the basket. Very tough lie. We are gonna full send a tomahawk with our Pro Destroyer. Oh man, what a bummer. That was looking pretty good. We caught a tree up there. Well, after our unfortunate tree kick on the tee shot and upshot, we're left with 71 feet. We're gonna have to go with a straddle putt, and this would be an amazing 3 to get. Oh, perfect line, just a little short. I didn't know if I'd be able to get that distance with this tricky straddle putt. For the 4. Hole 12, 211 feet, pretty straightforward hole. You just want to go dead straight with a slight left finish at the end. So of course we are going to go with our Rhino. Oh, we did catch a tree at the end, but I think we'll still have a putt. We're a little bit shorter than I thought, probably still 40 feet away for the 2. Come on. Nice putt, we needed it. It is a new day, guys. This park is probably the busiest park I've ever been to, that I've ever tried to film. It's definitely a little more than I bargained for. I only made it to hole 12 yesterday, and this park was so full that I was causing a backup. So hopefully today can go a little smoother and we can get this video done and we don't need a day 3. Hole 13, the rangefinder has it at 242 feet, dead straight, downhill. We do have to hit this initial gap off the tee pad. And like I said, guys, it is a brand new morning. We have not warmed up at all, so hopefully this does pan out all right. We are gonna go with our Envy. Get down there. All right, not bad for a first toss. I think we'll have a long putt. Not a bad drive, but we have left ourselves about 42 feet for the 2, and being that I do feel like a popsicle, I don't have high expectations for this one, but hopefully we can knock it down and get our round started. Hey, we'll take that. We'll take that for a first putt. For the 3. Hole 14, nice and simple, 188 feet, dead straight, slightly downhill. Again, we have a little gap to contend with off the tee pad. I'm a huge fan of these holes because it is allowing me to warm the arm up, but we are gonna full send the Envy again. Really nice shot. I just need to get a little more turn on these last two throws and I think we'd have a run. For the 2, hole 15, without question so far my favorite hole on this course. You can see the basket is perched way up there on top of that hill. I'm gonna take something more overstable, keep it low, force it down this right lane and let it hyzer back and hopefully just land at the bottom of that hill. We are gonna go with our Firestorm. All right, I'm not gonna lie, that one hurt a little bit, but I think we landed right where we wanted to. Really happy with how the Firestorm turned out there. As you can see, we still have probably 50 feet way uphill for the 2. It is a fun little shot. We are gonna go with a little sidearm flick with our Justice. All right, I'm not sure what's going on up there, but hopefully we didn't roll down a hill somewhere. We've left ourselves about 15 feet for the 3. Hole 16, 303 feet, dead straight. We have to hit this gap. If you're an absolute crazy person, you can go with some huge sidearm or turnover shot, but we are just gonna send it up the gut with our hex and hopefully not catch a roll away. Well, that throw was so bad. We got some great tree love. I think we made it back to the fairway. Sheesh. Yesterday, after I had to quit filming, I did finish this course to kind of check it out. I did find myself in a similar spot to here, but I was actually back another like 20 feet. It was blowing 35 miles an hour. I threw my Kotuku, it went about 100 feet in the air, slammed in the bottom of the basket and bounced out. And as you guys can tell, no, I'm not over it yet. But we still have 127 feet. We are gonna full send it with our NB. Oh, it doesn't have the distance. It was a nice layup, but that's not what we were going for. For the 3, hole 17, 302 feet. These holes are always a ton of fun. It is way downhill, dead straight tunnel shot the whole way. I never really know which disc to choose on a hole like this, if I want to go with like a flippy fairway driver or just send the NV down there. This time around, we are going to go with our NV. Oof. Big tree kick, and I'm not sure which way we went, but hopefully we have a long putt. Our NV did catch a tree, but I am kind of thankful for it because it does leave us this very fun downhill putt about 65 feet for the 2. Come on. Oh man, I really thought that was going in. What a bummer. And rounding off possibly the longest filming session here at Tossing Plastic, we have hole 18, 318 feet. We are throwing over this massive valley again, way uphill, dead straight. Hopefully we can end on a good note and not a horrible tree kick. We are gonna full send our champion boss. Simmer down. Oh, quit rolling, quit rolling. Oh, thank goodness. We started rolling, we were gonna hook all the way down the hill and we caught that tree up there by the basket. That could have been really bad. Really good way to finish the round. A big shout out to this tree for being the MVP. Nice rhyme. We've left ourselves about 16 feet for the 2. Nice putt. That wraps up Richmond Hill Disc Golf Course in Asheville, North Carolina. And yes, guys, we are no longer at Richmond Hill, and that is because that park is extremely crowded. Richmond Hill was the first course that ever took me 3 days to film. And honestly, guys, you love to see it. You love to see the thriving disc golf community that Asheville has. The biggest downfall to Richmond Hill, without question, is the tee signs. When you have some of those really long wooded holes on your course and the tee sign does not give any direction of which way the fairway goes, it can cause a lot of frustration and headache for players playing it the first time. One thing that was amazing about Richmond Hill is the fact that it is a very well-balanced course. Some of the holes are very difficult, long and wooded, but then there's tons of birdie opportunities to keep your mental and your score in a good spot. And as you guys saw in the video, some of those tree kicks can be next level punishing. I experienced some for myself, and if you ever plan to go visit it, I'm sure you will too. If you go to play Richmond Hill, you're definitely going to want to bring your hiking shoes and your toolbox because it's going to require a lot of shot shapes to put down a good score. The course definitely has that feeling of playing in the mountains, which is great because you get to work on a ton of elevation shot shapes, but it can start to feel a little repetitive because it feels like you throw up the hill and then you throw down the hill. And that happens quite a few times throughout your round. Another side note, after hole 14, I believe, there were signs that said the course was redesigned, and let me tell you something, guys, the end of that round was the most enjoyable for me. Very creative and fun holes. Overall, I will give Richmond Hill the solid score of 7.5 out of 10. I think the T signs and the repetitiveness kind of bring it down, but the atmosphere, the views, and the people bring it right back up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Now it's your turn to go toss some plastic.